You can see behind me there's a whole row of silver birches just over the clearing there. And the colours have really come alive at last. You've got the yellows, oranges and lilacs. I was here last year and I did get a quick shot here. But I intended to come back again this year. I've got a long lens on the camera. I'm just focusing in on small scenes, so I'm really trying to pick out compositions, looking across those silver birches there. Sort of interested in shapes, the way the trees are interacting with each other. Trying to make the composition as clean as possible. But really it's all about the colour. You have to admit the colour's amazing right now. I don't think it's going to last because next week it's going to get quite a bit colder, and I think the wind may come across from the north as well, so we may start to lose the leaves soon, so it won't be long before the leaves are on the floor. There's a nice scene going across here. Got some pine trees to my left here, and there's some beeches in the background here. That's where all this colour is coming from. But you've got a nice shadow line in the middle there, and the canopy above. So what I've done is taken 3 or 4 shots going across for a panorama, so I'm going to stitch those together in Lightroom. Yeah, it's just a nice scene, and I just love the colour. As you can see, the leaves are starting to fall here. So I'm hoping I've still got a week or two before the leaves all do fall to the ground, and whilst the colour's still here. But say it's the 2nd week in November here. The colours arrived late, but it's come in a sudden burst, so let's hope it sticks around for just a little while longer. It's quite moody in the forest today. It's very overcast. The light is quite soft and flat, you would say, but at least it's easier to work with. I just set my camera up. There's a scene looking down between the pine trees there, and there's a tree which has its autumn colours. It's got its yellow colours there, and it looks like a silver birch there, just nestled in between the pine trees. But I've taken a vertical shot here, vertical just to accentuate the tall pine trees, and just to close the composition off, so it's just you're just focused on the pine trees and that silver birch in the background. And I don't do many vertical compositions, so I'm consciously trying to look for them more. I always tend to look at 16 by 9 landscape compositions. That's how my mind works. I used to watch a lot of films when I was younger, so I'm so used to looking in that aspect ratio. I'm trying to look for some vertical compositions as well as some square crops and 4x3s, but still just seeing what fits the scene. I mean, if the scene fits a certain crop, then I'll go for that, but I won't try and force it into a certain crop. Just whatever fits the shot I'm taking. It's been raining recently and I've got the polarizer on, so it's got a nice orangey red-brown colour to that pine tree. And you've got the silver birch in the centre of the frame there with yellow leaves coming through. And in the background you've got the dark green of the pine leaves from the trees there, and some bracken in the foreground below. I've come back to the scene. I was here last week, but the colours hadn't quite arrived and the light was quite harsh and contrasty. Today it's overcast, the light's a lot softer and there is a lot more colour around. So I framed up my camera behind me here, and you can see there are some yellow and orange leaves in some of the silver birches in the background there. And that helps to contrast against the green pine trees there. So I've framed up my camera. It's a similar composition as last time. I'm slightly closer, just so I can get the yellow and the orange leaves, which are in the background there. So I want those in the centre of the frame if I can. But yeah, the light's just fading now. The sun's going down and it's been thick cloud all day. So it is a big contrast to last time I was here. I had blue skies and a lot of light to work with, almost too much. And today there's a lot of thick cloud and very flat light. So completely opposite really. You don't always get the right light you want, so you just have to work with it as best you can. I was here last week and I hadn't been to Woodland Forest for over 3 months, and initially I found it challenging just to find compositions and to change the way I look around the scene. But coming today, a week later, I've noticed that slowing down and taking my time has helped, and that I forgot in the past few months. Woodland or forest, you don't want to rush around and try and go everywhere and try and explore as much as possible. Start in one area of the forest and just take your time. Just don't even get your camera out. Just have a slow look around, see what the light's doing, see what colour it is, think about if you want to use a polarizer. This time of year, polarizers is a good idea. Certainly after it's been raining, it helps to really saturate the colours, but also in the autumn it really helps to bring out the colours and just takes the shine off the leaves. This area of the forest I've been before, it's kind of secluded. It's off the main path. You've got these old tractor tracks coming through here, and you've also got the bracken growing around it. But I've had a slow wander around here and I found a composition which I hadn't spotted before. So it goes to show, if you take your time and observe, don't try and find compositions, if that makes sense. Don't force yourself to find a shot. Just take your time and have a look around and just see what catches your eye, see what the light's doing. See if there's any interesting patterns amongst the trees. If there's a break in the dense woodland, you've got one tree isolated, that could make a good shot. You want to try and simplify the scene as much as possible. Forests like this, where you've got a lot of regularity and pine trees, that can help. But a lot of these pine trees are growing really close together, so there's not a lot of separation. So it is a challenge to try and find a composition somewhere like this, but it's a fun challenge at the same time, especially when you do actually find a composition.